Gold and silver are taking off today. Gold well over $3,200 an ounce. Silver is up big as well, up almost $1 today. Speaking of dollars, the US dollar index continues to fall. This is the weakest the dollar has been all year. One of the reasons for this is the trade war with China. You could see here, Trump raises tariffs on China to 145%. And China is fighting back. Look at this. Today, they're raising tariffs on US to 125%. Because of all this craziness, the gold-silver ratio has gone over 100 to 1, and I'm certainly buying more silver right now. But I talked with the guys down at the coin shop about buying silver, and surprisingly, we came up with a few reasons why certain people should avoid buying silver right now. Check this out.
Don't spend the rent money on this. Don't go into debt to do this. If portability is an issue, if the ratio did get down ridiculously low like that, it'd be crazy to buy silver.
Traditionally, you got your dealer, your custodian, your depository.
The reason why ours is so good, first of all, we're two of those three parties, right? We have the depository, we're the retailer. The only thing we're not is the custodian. We don't get any negative experience from the customer because of how fast things are going. Who you pick is incredibly important. SD Bullion, we're different.
Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. Before we get to the coin shop, I just want to point out today is a historic day for gold. It is sitting at $3,250 an ounce. It has regained all of the losses that took place over the last week and is charging higher than ever. This is a new all-time high for gold, up almost $70 on the day, over a 2% gain. If we look at silver, we can see silver has actually gone up faster than gold today. It's gone up over 3%, about a $1 gain, sitting at $32.31. But silver has not recovered from its losses we saw last week. So gold is certainly performing better than silver overall, but if I had to pick one or the other, I would certainly be focusing on silver. Now, that being said, let's go to the coin shop and hear some of the reasons why certain people should avoid buying silver right now.
I'm shocked that people are buying at these prices, and yet maybe they know something I don't know.
Never a bad day to buy more silver, right?
And yet there are times that silver shouldn't be bought.
Who should not be buying silver?
First and foremost is someone who's looking for a quick flip. We had a phone call, not more than a week ago, of an older lady who wanted to give money to her son and daughter-in-law to buy a house, but not for a few months. And she wanted to spend in excess of 6 figures on silver. And I told her that's a very bad idea, because if you have a specific stated goal for that money at a certain time, and she said later on this year, it's just a terrible idea. I don't know what she'll end up doing. She certainly didn't order that day, but I got to sleep at night, and the fact of the matter is, it just sounded like a recipe for losing the opportunity to buy that house.
So if you're going to be needing the money in a short period of time, you shouldn't tie it up.
Well, not only needing the money, needing a specific amount of money.
Right.
Because yes, she's right, she's getting almost no interest in the bank account it was in, but at least it's there. And Mark Twain once said he wasn't so concerned with return on his principal as he was return of his principal.
Right.
And in this case, the principal had a stated purpose at a stated time later this year, which made me think this is a really, really bad idea for her and her kids.
I think one of the other things too is if you're just wanting a quick flip, like people see crypto and they think, oh, I'll put some money in, it'll double, triple, 10x, in a week or in a few days. And silver and gold, that's not what they are.
Well, crypto's had times where that was a mistake too.
Yeah, I would say with silver and gold, it's not a get-rich-quick thing. It's more, I always say it's insurance for your money. If you have money that's just sitting in a bank that you're not going to need, like Harry said, in a few months or later that year, then buy some silver and buy some gold. It's better than, just being all in the bank with point whatever percent that you're getting for interest.
Yeah, I was just thinking, what do you think would be sort of the minimum time to hold precious metals? Like when I think about buying gold and silver, I'm thinking decades, right? But what's your opinion?
Certainly years. It should be money that is not earmarked for anything else, including food, rent, heat, repairs on your car or home. And I say this with all seriousness. In my days of serious stacking personally, before I had the shop, every month I'd pay all my bills, I'd fund our IRAs, I'd take care of whatever needed to be taken care of, and whatever was left from what I earned that month, I would go to one of the local coin shops here and buy gold, and I buy silver, mostly gold at the time. So it was money that was truly discretionary. Everything else was funded, including things like, emergency cash. So I wasn't putting myself or my wife in any danger at all by my stacking activities. Don't spend the rent money on this. Don't go into debt to do this, because no matter what happens to the silver, up or down, you still owe that money. I don't like to see people put it on their credit cards. I don't like to see people take money, say, from a home equity loan to do this. Maybe I'm too conservative, but I just think it's a mistake to put you and your family at risk like that.
No, I 100% agree with that. Also, I think maybe if you have a lot of debt, you should maybe try and work on that first before you try and acquire a bunch of metals.
Oh, yeah. If you have credit card debt, high interest loans like that, like payday loans, even worse, clear that out before you start stacking in earnest, because that's going to cost you so much money. Get out of debt first.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't want to start in the hole and, to potentially make some profit on silver or gold while you're paying, 20-something% in interest what some cards are charging. It's just ridiculous. It's good to have a little bit of exposure, to some type of investment. Like if you have like you were saying, an IRA or something, you still want to contribute to that, but get rid of your debt first. Don't put yourself in a deeper hole.
Yeah, so it sounds like what you guys are saying is there's some people out there who should not be buying silver.
Yeah, and here's another cautionary tale. Anytime you get a call from outside unsolicited to sell you silver, usually a boiler room operation from one of the large fly-by-night firms out there, just hang up, because first of all, it's almost never a good deal. And secondly, it wasn't your idea. It's good for them to sell it to you, but that's not on your timetable. We don't solicit from anybody. We take phone calls all day happily, but that's our customer's idea. But we don't reach out and say, hey, would you like to buy some? Unless someone's asked us to call them. So if someone calls you unsolicited out of the blue to sell you silver, the answer should always be no. It's not good for you, it's good for them.
Yeah, and sometimes I've heard of these companies doing a loss leader. So they'll sell you like 1 ounce, or they'll sell you one Morgan dollar for, $10 or $20, just to get your name and email and all your information. And then they're gonna hassle you with all of these calls, trying to sell you the high premium, overpriced collectibles. And people fall for that all the time. And it's so sad, because if you want to put your money into metals, that's the stuff you should really be avoiding, right?
Absolutely. And I've had people come in clearing out the estate of a father or mother who's passed away, telling me that they responded to a loss leader ad, got a subscription that even in their demise is still going on, and they're having difficulty canceling that stuff that keeps coming.
Wow.
So don't subscribe to anything. Don't take a call from an unsolicited boiler room. You make the decision. You decide what you're going to buy and when you're going to buy it and from whom you're going to buy it. You make all those decisions. Don't let somebody talk you into anything.
So, I was just thinking there might be a scenario in which no one should be buying silver. There could come a time where the gold-silver ratio is so low that gold is actually undervalued compared to silver, right?
Well, I'm old enough to remember that. In late 1979, the gold and silver ratio was about 15-1, if you can believe that.
Whoa.
For a brief shining moment. It's when silver hit nearly $50 and gold was at 800. At 15, 16-1 at that time was an amazing time to trade in your silver for gold. Now, at the ratios we see today, that wouldn't make a lot of sense yet, but there's no telling what could happen, and it wouldn't have to go to 15 or 16-1 to make it an interesting move. Even double that would be a great time to cash in silver for gold. I mean, if the ratio ever dipped below 40, to 1, you should take all your silver and buy gold, because that would be just about a giveaway.
Yeah, and let's say you did that. Let's say you sold all your silver, bought gold, and then the ratio went back up. You could sell all your gold and buy silver, and without putting in any more capital, you could double, triple, quadruple the size of your stack.
You could. This is a book written by Jonathan Hefferlin, a coin dealer I worked for a brief time in the early to mid 80s, who wrote a very interesting book called Making Inflation Pay. And I've talked about this book once before. Jonathan talks in chapter 8 about profiting from the gold-silver ratio. And he wrote this book at the time we were just talking about, when the ratio was about 16 to 1. He himself profited greatly by dipping in and out of one market or the other. It was a very exciting time to play those ratios. And there's no telling that maybe we could have that happen again. So if the ratio did get down ridiculously low like that, it'd be crazy to buy silver. You really want to be buying gold. Quite the opposite's been true in recent times here, where people have traded gold for silver, which makes complete sense at these ratios. It's just a smart move if portability and storage isn't an issue, or again, if it's something that makes sense for you personally. But the ratio right now makes great sense to trade gold for silver.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the coming years. I mean, if silver does shoot up and we see the ratio go down, I'm definitely going to be bringing in my silver to trade for gold.
Sure.
And that'll be a real fun video. I'll have to bring you all along with me.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, seeing all of this silver in the case today, it just makes me want to buy some more. But it's crazy that there are actually times when you should not be buying silver, and there are people who should not be buying any silver at all, right?
Yeah, just for the reasons we mentioned. If you can't afford it, if portability is an issue, if the ratio makes more sense to buy gold, and frankly, if you've hit your goal. If you had a goal and you worked your plan, as Adrian and I always encourage people to do, is work your plan. If that plan has come to fruition, then make a new plan. And maybe that new plan would be gold or some other precious metal or a house or stock in the market. But the point is, if you've worked your plan and you've met your goal, consider new goals. Maybe it's more silver, but maybe it's something else.
I don't know. I think I might always be stacking silver, though.
For you, it's more than just an investment. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But if that's part of your goal and part of your plan too, is to live that lifestyle. But some people are doing this for strictly financial reasons that have an end in sight when that goal is reached.
Yeah, once you hit your goal, then there's no reason to buy any more, I guess, huh?
Unless you come up with that reason.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much, Harry.
Thank you, Silver Dragons.
Thanks a lot, Adrian.
Thank you.